Hello Internet, my name is Kevin, and today we're going to be discussing character creation for a system I made called Xtop. From that being said, we're going to go forward and start explaining the sheet. The sheet right here is being shown on the left of the screen. It contains all your basic information, your core stats, character skills, loadout, and derived stats. We will be going over these individually throughout this entire video and this entire process, so come along with me and let's get started to making your character. First, we'll go over the basic information. This section here will keep track of your character's name, class, rank, background, as well as a spot for you to write down your own name and how much experience points your character has gained throughout the adventure. It's okay if you're unsure of what to fill in these spaces yet, as details like class and background will be described later on in this video. But for now, we're just going to set our experience points to 0 and our name and our rank to private. Feel free to write down a character name if you have one in mind, as well as your own name, and from there we will go forward. Unlike other systems, Xtop utilizes 4 core stats for its base game mechanics. These stats include body, aim, will, and movement. These represent your character's durability, accuracy, mental fortitude, and your character's speed. At character creation, all of your stats start at 4, and you'll have an additional 4 points to allocate into your stats. But you can put no more than 2 in a single stat. How you allocate these are up to you, but if it helps, I have found that there are 3 ways of allocation, those being specialized, focused, and equal. Specialized allocation puts 2 points into 2 stats, making your stats look like 2 6s and 2 4s. Focused allocation, however, puts 2 points into 1 stat and 1 into 2 others, giving you a 6, 2 5s, and a 4. And finally, equal puts 1 point into each stat, making all your stats increase by 5. For our character that we'll be using and making throughout this example, we will be using focused allocation, so with our 4 allocated points, we will invest 2 points in the body, 1 into aim, 0 into will, and 1 into movement. This gives our character a body of 6, aim of 5, will of 4, and move of 5. After assigning your character's core stats, you must now pick your class. Classes come in 4 distinct roles of Assault, Heavy, Ranged, and Support. The Assault role have the classes such as Blitzer, Assassin, and Berserker. These classes specialize in mobility, getting up close and personal with the enemy. Heavy classes specialize in having lots of armor and HP in order to take hits, and classes under this role include the Gunner, Grenadier, and Engineer. Ranged classes such as the Marksman, Gunslinger, and Stalker utilize high accuracy to eliminate targets without hesitation. And finally, support classes such as the Smokebearer, Specialist, and Tactician utilize their abilities to support the team and make sure that everyone comes back alive from the mission. When you look at the start of each class, you will see a brief page that looks like it's containing a brief description of the class, as well as its class chart and trainings. For our character, we will be using the Blitzer as an example, and direct our focus to the rank of Private. As you can see, at the rank of Private, our character as a Blitzer gets additional points added to their body, will, and move stats. This is true for every other class that you will find and pick from. So what you will do is you will take these additional points and add these to the core stats section under the class selection of your core stats on the character sheet. After you write those down, make sure you also write down your character's trainings and your character's ability to get at private rank. At private ranks, all characters will get their class's signature ability. In the case of the Blitzer, this ability is Run and Gun. Run and Gun and all other abilities are described on the next few pages of the class. Such as here, Run and Gun allows us to move and shoot as part of a single action. Class trainings are written above the class chart, and in the case of the Blitzer, those trainings are in shotguns, rifles, and pistols. Trainings are small bonuses your character receives when using these specific weapons. Trainings are not the list of weapons that your character can use. I repeat, trainings only provide small bonuses to those specific weapons, but do not limit your character in only using those weapons. Trainings are also shown in a chart and are explained in the overview section on classes, shown on the page right before the blitzer. Since the blitzer is trained in shotguns, rifles, and pistols, we can see the bonuses we get. Shotguns give us a +1 to our crit damage, rifles give us a +1 to our ammo, and pistols give us a +1 to their damage when we use them. If you do not understand what any of these bonuses mean, they will be explained further in the loadout section when we cover weapons and their mechanics. Once you finish that, you will then go on and move to some edges for your character. Edges are additional features that can benefit your character and make them stand out even more into your playstyle. You get one edge every level, but the ones you see here are the only ones available at the character creation and at private rank. But there are more available once you rank up. For this character, we will pick the stat training edge and get a +1 to our character's will stat, making sure to mark it down under the mods section of our core stats. From there, we will move on to our character skills. Character skills go ahead and utilize a background that we pick to give us some trained skills, dabbled skills, pathetic skills, and allocating our points into those skills. The first step for us to do is to pick a background. Backgrounds are an important step in figuring out your skills, so it is important to ask yourself questions about your character's identity. There are a lot of backgrounds to choose from, so please take a look to see what best suits your idea for your character. For our character, however, we will be using the Gambler background. When looking at a background, you will see its name, its description, and 2 sets of skills, trained and dabbled. Trained skills are the set of skills that allow you to show what your character has the most skill in starting out. You will pick one of the skills listed under the trained options. These skills will start off with a 6 in the stats. As you can see here, we will choose Deception. Next, we have Dabbled skills. There are 3 dabbled skills you must pick from, and these are represent stuff your characters are good at. When picking your 3 dabbled skills, you can also pick skills from the trained selection you did not pick from earlier. Each of these skills will be set to 4. For our character, we will pick the skills Insight, Intimidation, and Persuasion as our 3 dabble skills and all mark them down as 4. Next, we will talk about our prosthetic skills. Now that we know what you're good at, it's time to pick what your character is bad at. Prosthetic skills are skills your character has never done and are bad at. These skills will be set to 1. You must pick 3 skills from any skill in the skill list to become prosthetic. For our character, we will pick the skills Engineering, Psionics, and Science as our prosthetic skills and mark them each as 1. From there, we will allocate our skill points. For all remaining skills, we will write them down as 3. Once we have done that, we can start allocating our points to invest into our skills. At character creation, we have 10 points to allocate and can place them into any skill we wish. But at character creation, we cannot have a skill whose total is above 6. As you can see here, this is how I allocate the skills amongst each character. Once we allocate this, we will then go ahead and add up the total, and just like that, your skills are complete. Our next step for us to go over is your character's loadout. At character creation, you will have $100 to spend on your character's gear. Your game master, however, may adjust this amount depending on what they want their campaign to be like. Your loadout is what your character can bring with you on a mission, and includes 1 set of armor, up to 2 weapons, and 2 items of your choice. The reason there are 3 item slots here is because some classes grant an additional item slot for specific gear. When you are purchasing items, make sure that you are only buying gear that is tier 1 unless your GM instructs you otherwise. For starters, we will pick our character's main weapon first. Weapons come in 4 categories of guns, melee, explosives, and exotic. Each category has their own benefits and their own mechanics, but for this video, I will focus only on guns for this character. Guns are the most common weapon category and are split into 5 types: pistols, rifles, LMGs, shotguns, snipers. Guns also have 5 distinct statistics that add even more diversity and weight to your choices, those being damage, crit chance, range, and ammo. Damage is how much they hurt. Crit damage is how much additional damage it does on a crit. Crit chance is how likely you are to crit with the weapon. Range tells you how well your your weapon operates at different ranges. Ammo is how many times you can take a shoot action before needing to reload. For this character, I will be using the pump action shotgun. The pump action shotgun costs $20, so we'll place it in our loadout like so. Being sure to write down its damage, crit chance, range, name, and ammo. But now that we've picked our weapon, we must also remember that our weapon had trainings. Since we have training in shotguns, we will add +1 to our shotgun's crit damage, giving us a total of 4 instead of 3. We can always get more weapons, but for now we will move on to armor. Do feel free though to look back and buy another weapon for your character if you wish. Armor, just like all gear, comes in 3 tiers. Armor grants additional HP, defense, damage reduction, move modifiers, and have a utility bonus. HP is how much additional hit points your armor grants you. Defense is how well you avoid being hit. Damage reduction is to reduce damage when you are hit. Movement is either a bonus or a penalty depending on the armor. And utility is a bonus that armor provides, and that is explained in its armor description. In our case, we will spend $20 to get the assault armor for our character. And just like the weapon, we will write it down in the loadout. We will mark down its HP and defense as 1. We will write down that it is a light armor with a +1 movement. Additionally, since it has a +1 movement, do not forget to add this to the mods of your character's core stats. Now there are a lot of items to choose from additional armor to special ammo types and medkits to turrets. But for the sake of time and simplicity, I will simply purchase a frag grenade for $15. With that being done, we have spent $55 of our starting 100. We continue to buy more gear, but for now we will continue. Even though we will be moving on, do feel free to look at all the additional items listed in the item section to find out what would best suit you and your character. Now that we have our loadout, it is time for us to get our derived stats. These are the bits that rely on other statistics of our character and are modified by weapons, gear, and armor. But these are all found by using your core stats. First, we will get the total of our core stats, make sure they are all at total values so we can see what they have. As you can see, our character has a total body of 7, a total aim of 5, a total will of 6, and a total movement of 8. There are 6 derived stats that need to be found for our character to be completed. These are our hit points, bleed out ranks, body resistance, will resistance, initiative, and critical max. Hit points, or HP, is how much damage you can take before being knocked out of combat. For our total hit points, we will add our character's body stat, plus the HP we got from our armor, plus our character's total rank. In our case, our body is a stat of 7. We get 1 HP from our armor, and since we are only the rank of private, we get +1 because that is our overall total ranks, for a total HP of 9 hit points. Next, we will assign our character's bleed out ranks. When your HP reaches 0, that is when your bleed out ranks matter. Bleed out ranks are how long your character has to be stabilized before your character permanently dies. Your max bleed out ranks is equal to half your body stat rounded up. Since your character's body is 7, our character's max ranks are 4. Resistances are used on occasion to resist or prevent certain conditions and come into 2 types. These are body resistance and will resistance. These are calculated by using your body or will stats respectively, using the formula below. The formula takes your body or will stat and halves it, rounding it up and adding 1 to it. Our body stat is 7. Half of 7 is 3.5, so we round up to 4 and add 1, making our character's body resist 5. We will repeat the process with our will of stat of 8, and we will get a resistance of 5 as well. Initiative determines your character's chances in going first in the turn order when combat begins. Your initiative is equal to half your move stat rounded down. In this case, since our movement stat is an 8, our initiative is a 4. Critical max is the maximum value of your character's chance to critically hit a target. Crit max is equal to half your aim stat rounded down. In our case, this character has an aim stat of 5, so our character's crit max is 2. Finally, the last part of character creation is determine if your character has the gift or not. The gift is the name of stats which gives people psionic powers, and there are a few ways to determine if the character has access to these or not. Consult your DM if they will be using the gift, or how it will be obtained during the campaign before you do anything. Even if you have the gift, it may not be awakened, and you have to have both in order to use psionic powers. Since the gift and psionics are quite advanced, I will be covering them in the future video, but for now we will just mark down as this character having the gift, but not saying that it's awakened. And just like that, the sheet is complete and we are done! I hope this helped you in your character creation journey. In the future, there will be more videos on psionics, the loadout system, weapons, classes, and more in-depth details and looks into the system. But for now, I hope this is enough to get you at least started on that journey. So if you are interested in seeing more, be sure to join the official Xtop Discord to play for yourself. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you all next time. Catch you later.